Don't go broke in a nursing home. That's what Elder Advisors is all about. Larry Weiss is with us once again. And I think people need to understand it's a little bit more complex than you may know. There are laws involved, insurance involved, legal parts of it, real estate. There's all kind of components. And really, Larry, Elder Advisors, you're really your only competition. There is no competition.
John, please, how many times I got to keep telling you this, John? We have no competition. Wait for it, Kentuckiana. We are the competition. They feel the heat.
They do feel the heat because you can do so many things. Some people may have, maybe elder law. They've got an expertise
That would
there.
be done by attorneys, which I'm not an attorney.
Someone else may say, you know what, I know about the insurance, the in and outs, and I can help you with that.
Right.
But at one-stop shopping, you can take care of everything with Elder Advisors.
Absolutely. And just a quick segue, I bumped into a stockbroker about 2 weeks ago, and he kind of knows what I do, so we were talking, and he does the stockbroker stuff, tries to help families make money, hold on to wealth and stuff like that. And I won't get into the details, but after 30 seconds, I could tell he knew about as much about crisis planning, nursing home asset protection as a newborn baby. He knew nothing about it. But he's out there working with clients, giving him his best advice, and that's great if you're trying to amass wealth. But, if you need brain surgery, you go see a brain surgeon. You don't go see a podiatrist. So that's why, we really enjoy what we do, because we have a skill set where we surround ourselves with top talent. So what Elder Advisors does, we've started our 24th year now doing this. Right. And by the way, the previous segment with Ashley Furniture was phenomenal. And John, as good looking as you look right now, you are not capable of waking up and having a bad day, baby. I don't believe it. Kentucky, this man cannot have a bad day. He's drop dead gorgeous. Come on, John.
All right now. I love this. But I also love the fact that you are offering workshops.
We are doing the workshops.
Yeah, because knowledge is power.
Knowledge is the right knowledge, because so many people are getting the information from what we now call the barbershop law or beauty shop law. They're getting well-intentioned but completely wrong information. They're being told things like, you have to sign the house over to your kids. You have to give your house away to protect it. You have to give all your money away. It's too late if they're in a nursing home. You can't protect assets if they're in a nursing home. All that is completely wrong. That's why we're doing the workshops. Tammy, you're late on camera 3, bring it in tight. Tammy, yes. So we're doing the workshops. We're here promoting our monthly workshops. Monday, August 5th, 6 o'clock at the 4 Points by Sheraton. And Tuesday morning in Indiana at the Hampton Inn on Broadway off Veterans Parkway for families to come out. And I will tell you, we started for the first time in June because we took July off. We're kind of starting to unofficially turn people away at the workshops because we only have seating for 50 people. And no one wants to stand in the back wall, so they're going to kind of be there about 5:30 now to get in. So we make ourselves available. They can go to the website, elderadvisors.com, baby, and find out the workshop dates. But it's worth your time to come out because it is never too late, Kentucky. Don't go off what your friends are telling you. It's never too late. We help families all day long. I'm meeting a lady today at 2 o'clock. She's coming down from Madison. She had to place her husband out of town. But even at this late crisis plan, we're protecting assets. And the other thing we're doing is we're taking the stress off her shoulders because it is such a weight. Certainly there's a financial component because for husbands and wives, we can protect all the assets, John. Can I call you John?
Sure.
I feel like I've been around long enough.
Yes.
And speaking of which, after the show last week, you gave me your cell number. And I thought, man, that's really great. I'm going to call. So I called you. It's the Greyhound bus station. Come on. When are we going to have this relationship where I get the real number and not the Greyhound bus station?
We have it. And I tell you what, I'm going to get ahead of the curve here, too, because the bottom line is if you do have a loved one who's getting up there in age a little bit, it's important to be proactive. By the way, if you can't make one of the workshops, too, Larry wanted to let you know the phone lines are open now. 571-5263 if you have any questions. Larry, when I say proactive, better now than to wait. Because you've told me about this. It's like, yes, we can handle it if you're in a crisis situation. Right. But certainly there are some things you can do ahead of the curve that can really benefit you in the long run, right?
Steve Langdon does a phenomenal job. And if you'll recall, I think I was on last week where a gentleman called in where literally Steve Langdon saved the farm. And that was basically kind of a pre-planning where Steve does a great job on the legal component where the family came in. Steve, being the elder law attorney, was able to do things on the real estate to basically protect the farm because everybody else was telling this family, you've got to sell the farm. It's too late. Mom's in the nursing. You're going to lose it. And when he got to the right guy like Steve Langdon, Lee Stevenson, that really wasn't the case. Well, that was kind of a pre-planning, kind of a pre-crisis planning. But then also, when we're at the workshops, I ask families basically 3 questions. How many families have a loved one in a nursing home or about to go to nursing home? Hands will go up. And I'll tell the families, I'll tell everybody in the audience, if you're honest, you don't have to be honest with me, but if you're honest with yourself, those families, our hands are going to go up on at least one of those three questions. The second question is, how many people went through this in the past? Maybe it was their dad or an uncle, and they kind of like to get out from under it for themselves down the road. Second hand will go up. And then the third is, how many people have a loved one back at home, they've been in rehab, they're not really sure how the home health care component is going to work. I think Nancy Galloway from Senior Helpers is coming in Monday to talk more about the home health care component. So then the third question is, how many people have dad or mom back home, they've been in rehab, but they think they may have to do that? That's pre-crisis planning. And if the families in the audience, those 50 plus people that we can hold at Kentucky, are honest with themselves, everybody's hand's going to go up at least once.
Sure.
If they're honest with themselves. And so that's why they need our help. Either if it's a crisis plan, they're going through $7,000, they're going through rehab, they're back home, we're not sure what side of the fence we're going to fall on, or we'd like to avoid it for our kids in 20 years so they don't have to go through that. So Steve definitely handles that pre-crisis planning as well. And by the way, Cheryl A. Powers, baby, we're going to Disney World. Cheryl A. Powers, she loves me, but Betty, you get it all. She super loves John Ramsey. Cheryl A. Powers, I don't want to mention her real name. It's Cheryl A. Powers, Kentuckiana, but she loves you and loves Wave 3 Listens Live, and she's watching today. Cheryl, heart for you, love you. And baby, we're going to Disney World, and we're not driving, we're flying first class Delta.
That's right.
Disney World. Yep. Cheryl A. Powers.
She loves me because I bring good information with guests like you.
And Luann Miller, I won't going to use her real name. It's Luann Miller in LaGrange. Super duper loves John Ramsey. Maybe a little bit of love for me. But you have a following.
I love her back.
And maybe Elder Advisors does too, John.
There you go. Okay.
I love what I do.
I know you do, and you're very passionate about it. And I think those workshops, as you can tell, will be very entertaining. But
they are informative. Well. You might learn something too, Kentuckiana.
Yes, very good information. Yeah. I think it's important you talk about protecting assets and the financial component, which is important to people. You don't have to be throwing away the monies, but your money. But you have to know the rules to play the game.
That is correct.
But there is also this side of it, which I think there's great value here. It may not be dollar-wise, but great value in peace of mind.
It is peace of mind. And the other part, I know with this lady that's coming down from Madison today, you know, unlike you, John, I gave her my real cell number. Bad form, John, bad form. But she called me, I think 2 days after I met her last week, and she had a question. I knocked it out real easy for her. And you know what? You could just tell her, fine. Because otherwise, in the world people work with professionals, whomever they're working with, usually they play phone tag, whoever they're calling in life, whoever they're calling. It takes 3 days for that person to get back to them. Well, in the meantime, they are stressed out to the max. And I'm kind of like Doc on Gunsmoke. I'm 24/7 because I want
that was telling right there, Doc on Gunsmoke.
I know, you know. I grew up in the 70s, but it was the color. You grew up when it was black and white.
That kind of hurt, but probably true. So let's just stick with that. Okay, but in other words, you respond quickly.
I do.
And I think this is something I do know about you. We kid, we try to be upbeat and entertaining, but you genuinely care.
I do. And Kentuckiana, this is tough stuff. No one wants to have to deal with this. But let us take that weight off your shoulders. Let's take that stress off your shoulders so you have someone to call, someone you can defer to. So, you know, Steve will definitely take care of the legal components. He'll answer all the questions and emails and phone calls from the state of Kentucky Medicaid or Indiana Medicaid, and we help with the financial part. We're helping people at the kitchen table get this life narrative together so they don't go broke in a nursing home. Because remember, as Steve the attorney calls it, it's a special exceptions, John. For husband and wife, we can protect all the assets.
All of them.
I don't care if dad's in the nursing home. Now, if they've already burned $25,000 and cashed out a CD, I can't get that back. I'm good. I'm not John Ramsey good. I'm just good. But the rest of the money I can protect. Oh, and by the way, do you know you cannot spell U of L without John Ramsey?
Is that right?
That's what I heard.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate that.
And for singles, we can protect about half the assets. Well, half of something's better than all of nothing.
There you go. Exactly right. Don't go broke in a nursing home.
Don't do it. You don't have to.
If you have a question, 571-5263. Yes, you can save your assets. Yes, you can have peace of mind. And it's just Elder Advisors. No competition. We'll come back more with Larry Weiss and your questions. 571-5263. We'll be back after these.